guys, it's me again. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining. And if you're returning, I do appreciate the support. If you have not done so, please hit that little subscribe button down below. I would love to have you come along on my YouTube journey. Before we get started, please take a look at my shirt. If you saw my last video, I did a little vlog last week when I was off, and one of my stops was at Target. So this is part of the Black History Month collection, and it says bold, black, and bougie. So I absolutely love this sweatshirt or hoodie, however you want to say it. It is a crop top, so I do have on some high-waist jeans with it, and I mean, it's really comfortable, super cute. So I'm really happy with this purchase. So on today's video, we are going to talk about my very first experience at a Hermes store, and I'm going to show you guys what I bought. I actually purchased this item last year, but the bag has just been sitting along with some other stuff, just waiting to be unboxed because I knew I wanted to do it on YouTube. I just hadn't gotten around to doing it. So you have to forgive me for the tardiness of this video, but I hope that it's well worth it. So just to give you guys a little backstory, if you're new here, I returned from living in Italy for the last 4 years. My family and I returned back to the States last summer. And while we were in Italy, I did a lot of traveling throughout Europe, made some wonderful friends, made some wonderful memories, but I also did a lot of shopping. It's just something about shopping in Europe that's just like top notch, especially Italy. Just the service, just everything. It was just such an amazing experience. While my brand that I hold closest to my heart is Louis Vuitton, I did step outside of my comfort zone just a little bit and went into an Hermes store. So on this particular day, my friend and I were in Venice. We had taken the train up. The train was about 45 minutes from where we lived. So it was a super easy commute to hop on the train and just, take it into Venice. That way we didn't need to worry about finding parking at the parking garage, then taking a water taxi, etc., etc. So we trained into Venice, and then once we were there, we kind of like to walk around. If we get tired, then we'll hop on like a water taxi or take a private boat, which is still like a taxi. It's like basically an upgraded, water taxi, and it's more private, right? But for the most part, we kind of used to love to wander around. As many times as I've been to Venice, while living there, I swear it's like every time I went, I found something new. It was always something new to see or to do. But this particular day, we went to Venice because we were headed to the Chanel store. I was actually going in to order something, and my friend was picking up something. And in addition, we were wanting to eat at the Hard Rock Cafe. So whenever we wanted like a quick American fix, the Hard Rock Cafe was always a really good option. So like for instance, something as simple as salad dressing, right? So in Italy, that's not really a thing. So when you have a salad, you usually have balsamic and olive oil. But if I wanted like dressing such as like Caesar or ranch, going to Venice to the Hard Rock Cafe was always like a good option. So hot wings, French fries, hamburger, you name it. They had egg rolls on the menu, but we would like just venture out sometimes just to have lunch at the Hard Rock. But this particular day, the reason we were there was to go to Chanel, which we did. We stopped in the Louis Vuitton store. We stopped in the Gucci store because it's like a big square, right? In that particular area, it's very close to St. Mark's, which is like this beautiful cathedral, but we'll save that for another video. But anyways, so as we were leaving out of the Louis Vuitton store, that's not where we had CAs at. Our CAs were actually in a different city, but they all work so closely together. Sometimes they would be at different stores throughout our little region. So one of the guys that sometimes frequent, the store closest to our home, he worked in Venice. So we popped in, saw him. He gave us samples just for like stopping by to see him. I mean, they're all just so nice. I'm telling you, the customer service is like top notch. But as we were leaving Louis Vuitton, I told my friend, I was like, there's something I really want out of Hermes, but I've never had the desire to walk in there because, like, you hear all these stories, the essays are very stuffy. If you don't have a purchase history, they won't help you. I mean, I've heard all kinds of stories. So I was very hesitant on going in the store. But my friend was like, hell, we're here. We might as well go in. And I'm very glad I did. So thank you, Mandy, for talking me into going in the store. So we walk in. Back then, there was still a mask mandate in Italy. So wherever you went, as far as like a public establishment, you needed to have on a mask, right? So we walk in, security opens the door. All the employees have on masks. The customers have on masks. And the security guard was like, hi, somebody will be with you shortly, right? So this particular store had 2 levels. The first level had mostly like scarves, twillies, jewelry, perfumes, a few blankets, I believe. And then there was a second floor that had mostly clothing items. And there was like a baby section, right? Because I think we've all seen like the beautiful Hermes baby blankets. They had crib shoes, just, stuff like that. And there were also shoes on that level. And then the third level, which to us, we would probably consider it like a half a floor because the distance from one to another was very small. But on the top level were the handbags, the small leather goods, the SLGs, there was a seating area, etc. So we walk in, we're just browsing around, kind of looking at the twillies because that was the first thing that was on display. As soon as you walked into the door, there were like these big glass cases. And so an SA comes up to us and she's very, very polite, very friendly, very, very friendly. So she introduces herself and, asks what we're there for. And so I told her what I was looking for. And she's like, oh, I'll be more than happy, to show you what we have in stock. So we go up to the 3rd floor. And as we're going, she's, asking us questions. I mean, you can tell we're American, right? No doubt about it. So she's asking us, are we just visiting? Do we live there, etc.? Or we're kind of talking about, where we live, how long we've been there. She's telling us about her dog. I mean, just, we're just having a conversation, right? So we go up and she pulls out, the item that I wanted to look at. And she basically pulled out all that they had to give us, I guess, a range of options. And for that, I was thankful, right? Because she could have easily said, oh, we have this one. But no, she took her time, went through the different drawers, pulled out everything they had and like put it on display. And then she's like, I'll be back. I'll let you guys take a look at it and, I'll be back. So there was no rush. I want to say there were a few customers in the store that day, but that on the 3rd floor where we were at, I want to say that it was maybe only us. And like 2 other SAs. Maybe there was one more customer, I can't really remember, but so the particular lady that was helping us, she walked off and said she would be back shortly, take our time. If we have any questions, feel free to ask away, right? Another SA comes up and just says hi and just, says that she actually, my friend complimented her on her twilly because she was wearing it sort of like a tie. I mean, it was beautiful. No, it wasn't a twilly. I'm sorry. It was a scarf. It was absolutely beautiful. So that's how she came to talk to us because she just spoke and said, hi, how are you doing type of thing. And then my friend was like, oh my God, your scarf is so beautiful. And immediately we just all started a conversation from there. The particular scarf she had on, it was discontinued, but she was telling us that, she bought it and she hadn't been working there for that long, but so far she enjoyed it. And we're just like talking. My friend is asking her suggestion on the different colorways in the particular item that I wanted. And, she was giving feedback. I mean, it was just a really cool experience, right? So I decide what I want. We go over the essay that was helping us from the beginning. She boxes it up really nicely. I pay on the 3rd floor. and then we go back downstairs. But as we're walking out, my friend stops and she's looking at bracelets. So we, you know, our adventure is not over, right? So she goes and my friend bought some jewelry. I started looking at twillies. And then as we were doing that, the SA who had assisted us, she started making us sample bottles of perfume, like 2 little sample bottles. Hold up, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so she had made us some samples, and, you know, in the course of our conversation, we had brought up, you know, that we were both married. So she made my friend 2 samples and myself 2 samples, one for us and one for our husbands, right? So the samples look like this, and they're kind of bigger than like the normal size sample you would see from like a Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton samples are about this big, and these are glass as well. I don't know, can you hear that? But this particular scent is ombre something. I don't want to butcher the name. So my husband has his sample. I don't know what he did with it, but yeah, so this was the sample. So as she hands us the samples, I smell it and I was like, you know, let me go take a look at the perfume because it smells really good. So I ended up buying something else from the first floor, and then, you know, we kind of wrapped up. But what I forgot to tell you guys is while we were upstairs picking up my item, I was looking at handbags, and I ended up asking for a particular handbag that she didn't have in stock in the colorway I wanted. So I ordered it, and she basically said, you know, she should be able to obtain it or source it out and get it within like the next 10 days. She would text me once she had it in stock. So even that experience was just very lovely, because I mean, everything was like, no problem, you know, I could get it done. And mind you, we weren't asking for like Birkins or Kelly's or anything like a quota bag, right? Like that's really not my speed. But it was just, you know, just good customer service though, no matter what it was we were asking for. Like she was treating us as if we were spending $1 million, you know? So I definitely appreciated that interaction, and I definitely appreciated how kind they were, and especially the way they explained the different items within the brand, because, you know, we didn't have a history with buying from Hermes, so we're, you know, don't really know much about the brand whatsoever, but it was just a really cool experience. So without any further ado, I do want to show you guys the items that I bought. And then, if you haven't already guessed, there will be a part 2 where I discuss the second items that I bought once my order came in. And I'll just give you a hint, one is a handbag. So stay tuned, be on the lookout for that particular video, and I'll be sure to get that recorded and upload it, so you won't have to wait for too long. But anyways, so the first item I want to show you guys is what I purchased off of the 3rd floor. And I have not opened this yet. You know, we bought it, it's been sitting in the bag, so I don't even remember the exact color it is. So this is going to be just as much of a surprise for me as it is for you. So anyways, I have always wanted one of these for like a very long time because I absolutely love SLGs, small leather goods. I like them in different colorways. I'm a SLG girl. I don't know. I love pops of color. So SLGs kind of do that for me. So I have always wanted a Bastia, and this is a coin purse. And it opens up and it says Hermes, Paris, made in France. So I did opt for pink. There were other colors. I debated on a neon. It was like almost like a neon yellow, but my friend went with that one, and I thought this pink was just so beautiful. How I will use this, I'm not really sure. Initially, I was going to use it for coins, but I don't really carry coins a ton now. Sometimes I do because I still love to buy coffees out, and sometimes I have cash. But I could also fit cards in here as well. But it snaps. It's one snap. And I pulled up the description just to give you guys a little feedback. So I believe this color is Rose Pop. On my receipt, it didn't necessarily say the color. And the receipt is so, even the receipt is cute. Can you see the embroidery? It's the H for Hermes, but I believe the color is Rose Pop. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the right color. And what it says is that this is a folded coin purse in Evercolor calfskin. That's the type of leather. Closed with the palladium plated silver snap button. So very simple, right? But very elegant. The leather is just so soft. Definitely very high quality. And I'm super happy that we decided to walk in the store so that I could buy this. I'll insert a little picture. It looks like Hermes had a price increase because I definitely didn't pay the price that's listed online right now. But I absolutely love it. And I'm super happy that we walked in. So this was my first purchase. And it's a little one, but it makes me happy. So then, as we were walking out, after smelling the perfume, let's pick this up. So after smelling the perfume sample that she gave me, I asked, how did the bottles come? I was wondering if there were travel size bottles. So if you're familiar with Louis Vuitton, there is a travel size perfume set that I think is just great for traveling if you don't want to like make a travel size, right? So she was like, actually, we do, because I wanted to have a variety of scents, right? Because again, this is my first time in the store. Never bought anything from the brand before. I definitely hadn't smelled any of their perfumes before. So I kind of wanted to walk away with a variety, but I didn't want to buy full-size bottles because that would have been quite pricey, right? So she told me about a set that I could make, and I'll show it to you guys. So the box just says Hermes, of course. All of their boxes are orange if you haven't seen, seen that coordination yet. But what I did was bought 4 travel size bottles to make a set. Now, I don't remember all the scents and what they smell like because it's been months. But I know that I did buy one scent twice because it was unisex. So I bought one to give to my husband. So now, since I've unboxed this, he can have what I bought him. But anyways, so there's 4 total. The first one, and I don't want to butcher these names, but let me first show you the bottle. It's so cute, right? And it, it's a spray top. Cure Diangi, I don't know. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, so I'm just gonna let you see the name of it. Is that clear? But anyways, this one says, the softness of leather, a promise hovering over the skin, bewitching and hazy. This one I really loved. It smelled so different from anything that I own. And I love perfumes. I have quite a lot of perfumes. That's like my thing. I love, I love to smell good and I love perfume. So this was very different than anything I had, in my collection. The next one is Rose something. Just show you that. And this one smelled very sweet. The description says, a contrast of rose petal and crisp rhubarb. It's airy and sparkling. Yeah, this one smelled very light. I mean, it doesn't smell like, or maybe it does smell like a very typical rose, but a pure rose smell, like no additives type of smell. I mean, it smells really good. Very light, very crisp, very clean. So I did think that one smelled really good. And then lastly is what I bought for both my husband and I. I bought 2 of the same ones. And this was actually the sample that she gave me. And it's ombre something. I'll just show that to you. And it's described as a amber honey with swirls of smoke from the east, sensual and enveloping. I thought this smelled just so sexy. Whether a man or a woman, like you wear this, heads are gonna turn. That's how I would describe this particular scent. So I was actually very happy that I had a chance to even take the time to smell them, because that wasn't on my radar. Honestly, you know, when I walked in the store, I was simply only going to get my Bastia, and I was hoping that they had one that I wanted, and they did. But because of her, you know, great customer service, giving us out samples, I had the opportunity to smell perfumes and decided on several that I liked. So yeah, my first experience, granted, I don't know how it is in other cities, but you know, in Venice, I had a wonderful, wonderful experience to where I even bought something else, and that'll be part two. But the customer service was just so engaging, it made me want to come back. Even after my item that I ordered came in, you know, she texted me and we scheduled a time for me to come back, and we'll go all over all of that in the next video. But it was such a pleasure working with them. It was a pleasure being in their store and just being treated as if we were human, right? Didn't matter what we were buying, what we were spending. It was just genuine, good customer service. And that is something I can definitely appreciate. If you've liked this video, I would love for you guys to hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you enjoyed the content. If you have any questions, I would love to chat down below. Let me know your thoughts. Have you ever purchased anything from Hermes? And if you have, did you have a good experience? I do have friends that own, you know, other items from Hermes. They own very expensive items from Hermes, but they have like long lasting relationships. So naturally they have, you know, a good rapport built with their SAs, but I don't really know anyone that had anyone personally, that is, that had a first time experience and how that went. So I hope that this shed light to some of the thoughts that are preconceived notions that one might have regarding the brand. I know that every experience is different, but the experience that I had was very, very pleasant. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and don't forget to subscribe. We are almost at 500 subbies, so I'll be super excited when we hit that threshold. Until next time, be safe.